According to Mythos, 100% of you are subscribed. Good job!
Hello. Welcome to part 2 of the series where we're going to be going over the lore of every single equation that can be found within the Protean Hero, the latest chapter in the Divergent universe. In all honesty, these equations have had me incredibly hyped. Not only because I do like the fact that these have been able to expand upon the world building of amphoreus, because yes, all of these are just specifically tailored to this planet, which I'm adoring so far, but also these are related not only to like the world itself, like the citizens or entities that live within it, but they give you more context about the titans, meaning that we have 8 titans that we get to learn more about. In all honesty, this kind of little bits of trivia and knowledge are why I adore making this series so freaking much. So, with all that being said, let us tackle on the equations in the path of erudition.
Child of Spiral. Gee, forgive me for my lack of manners. I simply can't stop my work at hand. With the sky and the blazing sun as our measure, we once forged steel birds to fly. In the years before the Helix workshop burned down, Saku basked in eternal spring. Our creations could rival those made by the cities of the Sky Priest. Even the Nautist came from afar to study the theories we derived. But later, the destruction came, and amphoreus grew dimmer by the day. Yet, the offsprings of the Helix workshop still walk the earth, burdened with heavy backpacks, traveling through the crumbling city-states to fix broken machines. They are dedicated to revive the lost technologies, knowledge, and ideals. This world was once blessed by the light of our God, so we shall bring back to them the light of reason and intelligence that once illuminated every corner of it. I really like the way that these equations have started so far, in particular because I will not deny that had it not been for the Trailblaze mission, I would not have associated Cerces with the Erudition. I feel like in particular because I am so focused on the fact that Cerces and Menestia had this relationship, so I wouldn't have placed her as the Titan of Reason. It just kind of flew over my head, but after having seen the way that they interact, the grove and everything else, it is a perfect fit for the erudition to be related to the Titan of Reason. And also, I do love the fact that they interpret knowledge as light. That is such a cool detail. Lotophagism. Greetings, Bard. Would you like to join us? Cerces came to the world in the form of the tree, bearing her wisdom in its roots and fruits. What is healing, and what is harm? Only the wise can tell the difference. The gods tempt the world with sweetness, though necessary, it causes decay when taken in excess. They also test people with bitterness. To reach the truth, one must keep a balanced diet. Simple meals, though savory, make our body healthy, while indulgence and gluttony bring fleeting pleasure but a lifetime in ruins, a violation of the order of nature. The plants in the herb garden grow with sunlight and rain. So do we too, just like tender shoots emerging from the soil. If we overtake, our roots will rot. Now, this one confuses me because I have no idea what this is doing with the elation. I can kind of understand the erudition because it's like, oh hey, no, never mind, it just made sense in my brain. Or at least, I think it just made sense in my brain. I like the way that this fits in the erudition because it is actual knowledge and it is, hey, like good things are great for you. And that is where the elation comes in because a lot of these things will make you feel great. But in excess, then you are suffering because it's going to affect your health, it's going to affect your well-being, or it's going to affect the way that you perceive the world.
Additionally, something regarding the name. Lotophagism feels like it's deriving from the word Lotophagi, which, for those that don't know, are lotus eaters in the story of Odysseus. And I love the fact that I know that. Scribe. My cousin Titanus is one of the chroniclers who watch over the hourglass. The fingers of time drew riverways, time flowing through them. The earth quietly stood by, bearing the weight of centuries. The chroniclers gathered grains of sand from the riverbank and put them in the hourglass. Each grain of sand would release a piece of history it bore. Once, it was the short sword of Icatus, swept away by war, eroded by the river of souls, lost to the currents for a century. Once, it was a statue from Epos, fallen into the abyss in the wake of conflict, brought ashore by the playful beasts of legend. A benediction from earth and time enables us to read the past from the sand. They believe that, as long as there are those who read the stories of Amphoreus, the world shall never perish. White Dryad. There is no need for words. Through the roots that connect our blood, your intent is already known to us. Before Kephali created humanity, the White Dryad had already spread across the world. Unlike your ignorant kind, our reason is deeply rooted in the earth. Wisdom flows among us like a morning dew. Though we may wither, our seeds carry the promise of renewal. We remember. Cerces taught us to unfold our leaves to question our very being. The traveling scholars all fell silent by our questions. The first sage of the grove got a revelation from our whispers. So, are you seeking answers to the God Slayer's journey? Then just lend your ear and listen. Petals fall off, bury in the soil. Death nourishes new life. Failure is never the end. This one is really cool. I love the concept of the White Dryad being part propagation because of the fact that it's sort of spreading all over the world. And we sort of see them during our time at the Grove because of the Trailblaze mission. And just realizing how much knowledge they have being in the Grove, being essentially like creatures, quote unquote, that could potentially provide knowledge to the human beings that existed within there, is such an amazing concept that I wish we could have expanded upon, but they're dead now. Erythrokeramism. Foolish apprentices, stop your faulty reflections. Cerces sows wisdom in the hearts of mortals, yet you attempt to harvest its fruits in your mind. Poor apprentices, put down your experimental tools. The gods have bestowed upon us the 5 senses. Why resort to external devices to discern the truth? Other schools' theories and means will only teach you how to discover knowledge. But Erythrokeramism will tell you that all knowledge already dwells within the depths of your memory, merely awaiting your touch to pick them up. Discard all observation, exploration, and logic, and instead sense, hear, and imagine with your heart. Peel away the deceptive mask named materiality that shrouds the world, and let all things return to their truest form. Okay, Hoyo, what the hell is this? Legitimately, what in the... did I just... like, what is this word? So, for context, I try to look up what Erythrokera could have potentially meant, and I tried to find the etymology, and the only thing I could find was either red or disease. So at this point, I was very much confused. I decided to look at the translation for this equation to see if I could find out something that would make more sense. And then, because I know Spanish, I looked it up and it's like terracotta school. And I'm like, that makes no sense. They would have just translated it to that had it been that word. So I looked up the Chinese version and then I asked someone, it's like, oh yeah, no, that translates to terracotta school. And I'm like, excuse me, what? So this whole Erythrokeramism is really confusing. I don't like the name. What the hell, Hoyo? And all I could understand is red study.
Forbidden Knowledge's Martyr. Do you know that there's a group of unrecognized scholars beyond the Grove of Epiphany? They don't care about the inheritance of established knowledge. Instead, they focus solely on the mysterious, unexplored realms. They regard the pursuit of knowledge as an arduous odyssey, where they brave thorny paths and precariously walk tight ropes. At every step, they endure immense suffering, and one misstep could spell their destruction. Whether it's unraveling the mysteries of the golden blood, probing into the existence of titans, or even the dreaded black tide, became a direction in their pursuit of knowledge. Such blasphemous endeavors will surely invite divine punishment and suffering. Nearly all scholars meet their untimely ends as soon as they make slight progress in their research, either being hunted down by Titan followers or dying in bizarre accidents. Yet, they continue to plunge towards those eternally unsolvable answers, like moths drawn to a flame. Warring Scholar. Metitalis, a dual emblem of pride and shame for us Naughtists. He is our pride, for this scholar has golden blood in his veins. His ingenious ideas continue to inspire successors across generations, centuries after his time. In his skilled hands, raw iron and ropes were transformed into walking machines. Due to his contributions, engineering textbooks doubled in size. He is also a shame, as he did not use his creations to benefit society, and chose instead to engage in the Chrysos War. The wisdom of Cerces forged the lethal spear of Nicador, destroying countless city-states to ruin with his inventions. Ultimately, he and his creations were both consumed by flames. Now, only by deciphering those cryptic, intricate manuscripts can one catch a glimpse of his astonishing talents and unyielding ambition. Okay, now this one has me a little bit confused because they mention that this individual had golden blood going through them, which implies they are a Chrysos heir. I thought that only the ones that had already consumed a core flame could have golden blood. But if it is just needing to be a Chrysos heir, even if you're not one of the ones that have been named within the prophecy, that's really interesting. Also, I find it so fascinating that this individual is the one that created Nicador's namesake. Nicador is the Lance of Fury, and if he created the iconic lance that Nicador goes now by, that is extremely sick and cool, and I really wish we could get to learn more about this. Hopefully we do through Anaxa's storyline, because he is a scholar, so that's just kind of what I'm assuming. And also, it sounds like this individual was really close to Cerces, which would make a lot of sense to be expanded upon if we want to learn more about them through Anaxa. Caprism. Don't run! Helioticus? Perfect timing. Don't just stand there. Help me catch the chimera. It was obedient before, but ever since it tasted a snack from the Lotophagists, it's been restless. Watch out for its claws. It may look small. Its claws are sharper than a Latin spear. Oh, and I forgot to warn you. It still has a trace amount of toxin. If it stings you, starting from the wound, your leg might go numb for a few days. I've put a lot of effort into raising this little rascal. When I was guarding by the tree, I recited the name of Cerces 1,000 times. Given my success in cultivating such a creature, I think the grove suits me better than the battlefield. Hey, didn't you want me to say something? Why are you leaving?
Ah, I see. So, those adorable little chimera beings that we see all over the garden are literally man-made creations that are incredibly deadly. I want a character to have this as a companion and just see the chimera go into battle. That is so sick. It could be a DOT character. Like they mentioned how it has toxins that it does, it has like sharp claws. It could be a bleed character. I don't know. I would love to see this. Theater puppet maker. Do you come to watch the performance? What a shame. The puppeteer has already gone far. The man had one arm assembled from wood and steel, with the upper arm still bearing scars upon scars. He carried a divine jar that turned muddy water into clear springs, and a wooden bird that hovered in midair, allowing him to travel by flight. Most impressive of all were the puppets that accompanied him, one clad in a long robe, the other one wielding a sword. Claiming to be a court magician and a knight, he repaired broken water wheels and musical instruments, healed the ailments of the elderly, yet never accepted a single coin. He sat among the audience with us, though his gaze never fell on the puppets, only on the children laughing uproariously until he departed on his wooden bird. This sounds really interesting. I don't really know what this could be like as in terms of like additions to the lore, but in terms of a character, this would be really cool. Imagine this guy selecting one of two memo sprites, these ones being their puppets. I don't know, I think that would be sick. Anyways, that's all I have to say for this equation. Reason's Miracle. This is an erudite utterance inscribed on a stone tablet. This is the miracle of Cerces, the bow of rift. A girl from Idylia was born with wisdom far surpassing that of ordinary people. She solved all the puzzles left over a century. With no questions left to challenge her, she found the sacred tree of Cerces. In her arrogance, she prayed to Cerces for a question, believing even the titans could not stump her. She claimed to have exhausted all knowledge of the world and wished to prove that she was wiser even than the gods. Cerces asked, "What lies beyond Amphoreus?" Bewildered, the girl stood motionless for 3 days and nights, unable to answer. What, indeed, was the answer to that question? The gods smiled and swayed their branches, for they too did not know. Admitting their own ignorance was what made them wiser than the girl. See, this is why Cerces is the best titan so far. I love their design, and they're also incredibly smart and sassy. This is the perfect character for me. If only they were playable. That being said though, I'm really happy with Anaxa, and I love this little dynamic that we currently have with both Anaxa and Cerces being there, and I feel like they do complement each other so far really well within the story, so I'm gonna be sad when Cerces eventually gets consumed by Anaxa. Additionally, I do enjoy how Cerces is still being there to give trials to people and is still someone that is seeking to leave people into like, you know, like lead them into the correct path, even if it is them needing to figure it out. I don't know. As a whole, just gotta say, really enjoy Cerces as a character. Wish I could see more of her.
And yeah, with all of that, we have covered every single equation that can be found within the Protean Hero in the path of Erudition. Personally speaking, I've enjoyed this one a lot. I like the White Dryad, I think were some of the most fascinating ones. I still have no idea about the Puppet Master, and the whole name that I couldn't pronounce and I was struggling that just translated to Terracotta School. I wish I could learn more about, because I have no idea how that could be related to red or terracotta or emotions. So I'm gonna make some more further research on that if I do get the chance. That being said though, I love the way that they portrayed many of the characters, in particular the Warring Scholar. I really want to learn more about them, and making this video makes me want to learn so much more, not just about Cerces, which I have expressed many times why I adore them so freaking much, but also about the Grove. I'm gonna hope to just go through the Grove, see what other little bits of trivia, knowledge, whatchamacallit, lore I can dig up, because, you know, sometimes they leave like these little events here and there. I'm really fascinated by amphoreus. It's fueling all of my Greek mythology hyperfixations, so this one so far has been my favorite. I am stalling too much with this outro, so let us wrap this up already and say, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more of this, and I'll wish you all a good rest of your day, night, morning, or whatever time zone you're currently watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.